If we think back to how transgenderism started, it was Alfred Kinsey, Harry Benjamin, and John Money. They were pedophile activists. They thought it was totally appropriate for adult men to have sex with young boys. So if we can look into their thinking, we shouldn't be surprised at what we're seeing today. And this is what has transpired. These are the consequences of allowing this travesty and this ridiculous thing to start the way it has. And let me tell you, affirming children into a cross-gender identity is child abuse. Let's be honest. It's not physical abuse, but it's psychological abuse. It's emotional abuse, and it's sexual abuse. We cannot kid ourselves any longer, and our children are being destroyed. I, myself, was cross-dressed at the age of 4, 1944, 74 years ago. And as a result of that, I became gender distressed to the point to where I underwent gender reassignment surgery after struggling because of being cross-dressed in a purple dress at the age of 4. We cannot ignore how devastating it is to young people to cross-dress them and affirm them. Do not kid yourselves. I'm here as a witness to this, that I'm still today stand before you with a mutilated body and a life that was destroyed in many ways, redeemed by Christ, certainly, but destroyed because I was affirmed and told how cute I looked, how wonderful it was, and went to a gender therapist who said, all you need to do is have hormones and reassignment surgery. That was in 1981. I underwent the surgery in 1983 because they said this is the treatment for gender confusion. Wrong. It's destructive. It's not treatment. It's further abuse. This is the physical abuse. Cutting off body parts and filling someone with hormones is one of the most destructive things you can do. And it's not repairable. There's things that cannot be restored. I'm here as a witness to tell you we have to stop this nonsense. And further, fortunately, I looked into the stacks of the books when I was studying psychology at UC Santa Cruz and discovered that people who identify with gender identity disorder also have disorders like body dysmorphia. They have autogynephilia, transvestic fetishes. They have other psychological issues that cause them to behave as a transgender. They're not born transgender. This is a childhood developmental disorder that adults are perpetrating on our young people today, and our schools are complicit in this. Schools have become the activist indoctrination location for children. And fortunately, my life was redeemed and restored, and my website, Sex Change Regret, we've had the opportunity to reach out to people around the world, and we continue to help people every single day. We get emails from people, Walt, 6 days after surgery, I regret this. Can you help me? Can you get my life back? 3 weeks after surgery, 6 years after surgery, all the way up to 2 people 30 years after reassignment surgery. It took me 15 years, Walt, to admit that I regret this. Can you help me? People today, in the hundreds, in the thousands, regret having been caught up in this madness. And thankfully, we're able to help them. And I plead with you to listen to the doctors and these messages today. There is nothing more important than a stable foundation of a country is the family. And this is an issue that's ripping families apart and tearing lives apart. We have to understand that a sound country, society is built on families. And ripping them apart with this ideology is also destroying our families, and we see it every day in our schools. Thank you.